All right, Shalom, Akim. All right, first and foremost, we want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to our apostles and elders, Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the elect. We're Great Millstone, Mississippi. And pretty much, man, we going into a lesson, the brothers going to a lesson on how, hey, you other nations about to pay. There's no way that the Lord is going to allow y'all to get away with all the wickedness that y'all perpetuated against the children of Israel, man.
And this lesson also is entitled Accessories After the Fact. Okay, and the accessories are who? These other nations, such as Moab, such as Ammon, Elam, Ishmael, so on and so forth. All right, Ham. All right. Go ahead, bring out that point.
This for the definition of accessory after the fact. Says someone who assists someone who has committed a crime.
Right. So these other nations assist who? Esau. Okay, point blank period. Go ahead.
After the person has committed the crime.
Right. After the person has committed the crime, who has committed the crime? Esau, beginning with the nobility of Edom, hence the Rothschilds. Go ahead.
With knowledge that the person committed the crime.
Right, because these other nations understand who controls this entire system. Go ahead.
And with the intent to help the person avoid arrest or punishment.
Why? Because at the end of the day, Esau controls everything. Okay, now jump to Revelation 13 and 15.
I get to Revelation 13, 15. And he had power to give life into the image of the beast.
The he, okay, when you go into the Greek, the he means what? Man. Going into the nation of Edom, beginning with who? The nobility of Edom, the Rothschilds, trickling down. And it states, and he had power to give life unto the image. If you got power to give life into something, means what? You control it. You control the operations. So the nobility of Edom controls this entire system. They have that power to make this thing move. Okay? All right. And this power has been given to them by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You got a point, bro?
It shows you power, with this so-called Abrahamic, the Abraham Accord peace treaty. These nations, these Ishmaelite, Arab nations are coming under the banner of Esau, for a peace treaty, because really the UAE, United Arab Emirates, they want to buy those F-35s from America, man. You see, showing you that, all right, who's Esau Edom, because you got that doctrine of Ishmael and Esau. Right. Well, why did Ishmael have to go to another nation to get the sword if they blessed with the sword? Right. Yeah, but just to show you, like the priest is saying, all right, these other nations, all right, are in cahoots, all right, with Esau Edom, man. They know who to go to.
And what proves there is also the UN Council. Okay, Iran still report there. Okay, Ishmael, so on and so forth. All right, continue, bro.
All right. That the image of the beast shall both speak.
All right, so the image, all right, the image is what? The system, which is patterned after the pagan which is patterned after the pagan Roman Empire. Go ahead, bro.
And cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. Keep on.
Yeah, so that's the point. So the nobility of Edom controls this beast-like system. So what is this system designed to do? Get Isaiah, bro. 55.
55 or 51?
Yeah, 51. Isaiah 51.
Isaiah 51 and 14. It says, the captive exile hasted that he may be loosed, and that he should not die in the pit.
The pit is the system. Okay, so the pit is designed to do what? For our people to oppress us. Okay, to kill us off. Okay, to continue to make us do work as slaves. All right, to hold us back, to make sure Esau and these other nations are in power. Okay, and only the awoken ones, such as the elect, will understand we are trapped within this system that is designed to oppress us. All right, go ahead, bro.
Nor that is bread should fail.
Right. Okay, bread meaning what? Your income, your money. Okay, your finances. Now jump to Daniel.
Daniel
7:25.
Daniel 7 and 25. And it's Daniel 7 and 25. It says, and he speak.
Now he is what is that talking about? In the form of America. Go ahead.
Great words against the Most High. And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
And that's the point. Shall wear out the saints of the Most High. How so? Hence the system. Okay, because when you go into the Hebrew term for wear, I forgot what it was, but it means constantly harass. Okay, from a spiritual standpoint. Okay, from a physical standpoint. Okay, from a psychological standpoint. From a mental standpoint, from a religious standpoint, this system is designed to continue to oppress us, to trap us, all right, to separate us from Yahweh Shem Shai.
In them great words, like they're making gay right, you know what I'm saying, and it's like going contrary to what the scriptures is. You know how the system is, how wrong is right per se.
Right.
False doctrine.
Yeah,
false doctrines and things of that nature. So now we have a clear picture of who controls this system. Okay, go ahead, bro.
If I had to expound on it, and you look at you know, NFL, the NBA, these entertainers, you know, they start here in America, but they entertain the whole world.
That's right.
Like basketball is big in China. You know, you got the EU sports. You know, showing you that, you know, Jake is like America, like a big circus, man, and Jake is the star attraction.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, all these nations benefit, you know, off. All right, the labor, you know, of Jake, man.
Yeah, and you Israelites, you're basically aiding the whore, you know, and being wondered after, because pretty much everybody follows your vibration anyway, but they follow you in wickedness. Esau puts you on the forefront, but it's to forward his agenda, man. You know, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's the latest trend that comes out, you know, but it goes to, you know, the other nations admiring the whore, man. You know,
right.
Yeah, but I had something after.
Okay, finish it up, bro.
All right. Let me start over. It said James 7:25.
Right.
And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
Right.
And shall wear out the saints.
Right, and that's what this system does. It wears out the saints. Point blank, period. Most importantly, from a spiritual and a physical standpoint. Go ahead, bro.
Wears out the saints of the Most High. And think to change times and laws.
And that's what he has done within the system. Okay, was that it?
And they shall be given into his hand until the time the battle time.
Right, and we're in the end of Esau's rulership. Okay,
Yeah.
Lord willing, we are the hopeful elect. We will be redeemed by Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's a perfect link to what's in Revelation.
that's right.
The brother had got, you know, because the time and times and dividing the time is the same thing as the 40 and 2 months.
That's right.
3.5 days.
That's right.
You know, 1,203 square days. A 350-year period,
That's
man.
right. Grand total 350 years.
You know, like you said, we in that time.
That's right, bro. That's right. Chicago, you had something. So,
This Job 21:7, going back to you said how he gave power to the image of the beast.
go ahead.
Wherefore do the wicked live, become old, yea, or mighty in power? You know, these elites, you know, they all old so-called Caucasians.
That's right.
You know, that's why they all into the organ harvesting, because they want to get Jakes, you know, most important, they want to get their organs so they can live longer. Man.
Yeah, drinking blood.
Right. So, you know, that's why they're big, you know, that's why you see a lot of stuff coming out about the adrenochrome.
Yes.
And that's what, you know.
Yeah, because we're the stronger race. That's the reason why they want our organs. And then what about the blood? Life is in the blood.
Yeah.
These people are sick.
Right.
Go ahead.
They get out movie went far-fetched. They were stealing body parts.
That's right. Kanye said it was talking about him.
Yeah.
Just real quick, and the top one also I got one. This is Deuteronomy 28. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee
That's the spirit. Go ahead.
shall get up above thee very high.
Right, begin with Edom at this time frame, trickling down to these other nations. And the reason why this is so, hence the curses. All right, when you go into that term curse, it means anger, going into the righteous indignation of the Most High. We broke the law, statutes, and the commandments. Therefore, this is the consequence. Hence, real time today. Go ahead, bro.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
Yeah, like what the East Indians, okay, these so-called African nations, okay, Ishmael, all right, go ahead, bro.
And thou shalt come down very low.
Right, and we are very low because everything we want in this system, we have to go to the other nations. And these other nations are accessories after the fact because they know who we are, okay, but they still basically partake in Esau's kingdom. Why? Because Esau is that man right now. He's in power.
Right.
All right, go ahead, bro.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him.
And that's literal. Okay, that is literal. Okay, and all these what they call it, these check cashing places in the hoods and things of that nature. Okay, and you, like I said, you have to go to the other nations for everything: gas, heroin, food, so on and so forth. All of this is spiritually designed by Yahweh Hashem Al-Shah,
Right,
and it manifests on earth.
God.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the deacon Master Allah, he had went into it on how, what they call middleman minority. That's how the other nations pretty much can set up shop in our neighborhoods and profit off us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna finish it off for
In
you.
Chicago.
Yeah, I was just saying, and not one time has the other nation ever came out to the forefront and said, we the most high chosen people,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
They took advantage of that because they knew who we were, you know? And going to about how these other nations, they come over here, what they do, they'll get these business grants and stuff like that.
That's right.
They never have to pay those back. So they have a good start. And they can barely speak any type of English, man. That's right.
A head
A
start.
great head start, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They all know.
They all know.
All right, it says, he shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Right, so we are the tail within Esau's rulership. Okay, and Esau's joint heirs are who? These other nations.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Tell us when you're
All right, yeah. I did Zechariah 1:15.
Hey, I got one to just directly link up with the other desire. Get that Luke 16:21. Yeah. Now this is a parable of Lazarus. All right, but it shows you the importance of the other nations and how they get down within this rulership. Okay, which proves they are accessories after the fact as well. Get that Luke 16:21.
All right, that's Luke 16:21.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and desire, let me just start at 20. It says, and there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which lay at his gate.
Right,
for
Lazarus
sore,
represents the Israelites. Go ahead.
and desired to be fed with crumbs which fell from the rich man's table.
Right, hence who? Beginning with the nobility of Edom. All right, trickling down to the weaker Edomite counterparts. Go ahead.
Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sword.
Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores. The dog represents who? These other nations. Accessories. Okay? They are getting money. They have made a lot of wealth within Esau's rulership. They are accessories, and they must be judged for their actions. There are always consequences when you do wrong. There are consequences when you do right. All right, Charles, want you add something?
I did Zechariah 1:15. And I am very sorely pleased with the heathen. They are at ease.
Right. And how are they at ease? They are partakers with Edom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they are at ease. Hey, you got Elam doctors coming over here making thousands of dollars, actually becoming millionaires. Okay, as psychologists and psychiatrists and brain surgeons and things of that nature. Okay.
You got Ishmael, they got stores,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Gas station.
gas station.
Right.
And I think Elon got
And
damn
they
hotel.
Mhm. Hotels too. Yeah.
And then the hospitals, I'm big
Yeah, in the hospital too.
Yeah,
Doctor, your wife and hood,
yeah.
Because when you go to a Edomite neighborhood, especially down here, you see Elon playing it right over there with them.
Mhm.
That's like one of the main nations along with for Esau.
Yeah.
For I was a little displeased, but they helped for the affliction.
Right. So the Most High was a little displeased, but what? They helped for the affliction. Okay, and think about how Edom did us after the fact of slavery. Okay, hell, it got worse, and we supposed to have been so-called free. Okay, you got something?
I got one.
All right, go ahead.
It's First Maccabees 2 and 6. And when he saw the blasphemies that were committed in Judah and Jerusalem, he said, Woe is me! Wherefore was I born to see this misery of my people and of the holy city, and to dwell there, when it was delivered into the hand of the enemy, and the sanctuary into the hand of strangers. Her temple is become as a man without glory. Her glorious vessels are carried away into captivity. For it says her infants are slain in the streets, her young men with the sword of the enemy. What nation have not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoil?
And you cannot get around there.
Yeah.
And this was during the time frame of the Greek rulership. But the scripture states, what nation has what?
It says, What nation hath not had a part in her kingdom and gotten of her spoil?
They are all accessories.
That's right, bro.
Okay, these heathen nations are joint heirs with Esau, man.
Yep.
Point blank, period. Go to their so-called communities, like the brother was saying, and see who's actually dwelling along with the Edomites.
Right.
The Elamites, the Ishmaelites,
Right.
Moab,
Ain't no such
Ammon.
thing as coincidence.
fucking Ammon come over here and have all these fucking hibachi grills and shit. Shit good, but goddamn.
Taking advantage of Jake.
They taking advantage of Jay. You know?
And I gotta say this too.
Go ahead, bro.
In the book of Judges, and every one of them had us in captivity.
That's spirit.
That's right.
So they gonna get what they reap what they sow.
Mhm.
It show you history just repeated itself.
That's right.
I want to land back real quick. A point the brother made, going back to what the brother read in the book of Maccabees. The vessels of the Lord are going into captivity. You know, as of late, the spirit really been getting on how Esau received that message at CERN. You know, tickle, which means, you know, the Lord weighs you tickle, which means the Lord weighs you in the balance you found lacking. And pretty much, you know, you get that one saying that's called the writing on the wall, going back to Nebuchadnezzar's son, Belshazzar, and he received that message, you know, but he received it right after he got done, you know, drinking from, you know, the vessels of the Lord, man, you know. So in the spirit, Esau doing it today by taking advantage of the Israelites, because we're the real vessels of the Lord, man. You taking advantage of us, man. You drink from Jake in the spirit. You taking advantage of us, man. You draining Jake dry, man, until there's nothing left. You know, you got Jake working till they fucking die, man. You know, so you did an even worse thing than you know, the kingdoms that came before you, man. So what's gonna happen to you now?
That's right. That's right. A beautiful point, Elder. All right, Sherry said you had a precept, bro?
You go ahead.
Okay. You had one? Go ahead. You just gonna go.
I got a quick example as well. This is Zechariah 2:8. For thus said the Lord of hosts, after the glory had he sent me unto the nations which spoiled you, for he that toucheth
The
you.
nations, not one nation, but the nations has spoiled you. All right, so everybody has had has partaken in the downfall of the nation of Israel. All right, go ahead.
That's crazy. That's the spirit. I was talking to JPD also today, and he was just talking about accessory after the fact.
Yeah,
Wow.
And he was just saying, like, especially in Mississippi with the law down here, like you get automatic like 20 plus years.
Exactly.
Being accessory after the fact.
Right.
You know, so that's even bigger than a person who actually committed the crime.
Mm-hmm.
So it says, for he that toucheth you, toucheth the apple of his eye.
Right.
So I got a quick example. Like this account of our forefather Joseph, Genesis 37 and 23.
Think about the apple of your eye. When the apple is actually talking about your pupil. Okay, so if I stuck my finger in his brother's eye and touch his pupil, what's going to happen? It's going to water up. He can't see. That's a delicate part. All right, so this is the Most High showing through a symbolic fashion how important we are to him, beginning with the elect. But the entire nation is important, but beginning with the elect. Go ahead, bro.
All right, this is Genesis 27:23. And it came to pass when Joseph was coming to his brethren that they stripped Joseph by his coat.
I was thinking about that, bro. It's the spirit. Go ahead.
His coat of many colors that was on him.
Right.
And they took him and cast him into a pit. And the pit was empty. There was no water in it.
Right.
And they sat down to eat bread. And they lifted up their eyes and looked. And behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels bearing
Now
spices.
think about this. Let's break this down. Now, the brothers, our forefathers, placed our forefather Joseph in a pit. Okay, keep that in mind. Our forefathers, which was his brothers, pushed him into this pit. Go ahead.
And it says, and they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said to his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? Verse 27, come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him.
So Judah basically wanted to sell our forefather Joseph to the Ishmaelites. Okay, keep that in mind. Go ahead.
And let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh, and his brother were content. Then there passed by Midianites merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold.
Who drew him out?
The Midianites.
The Midianites drew him out. Okay, not our forefathers. They did not draw Joseph out. It was the Midianites. Go ahead.
And they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites.
The Midianites sold Joseph. Okay, to who?
Right.
To the Ishmaelites. All right. So these other nations always been hand in hand with our downfall. Now, when you jump to
now, just a real quick point. Hey, that shows you just because these people are sons of Abraham, that don't mean shit. They still our enemies, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Midian, they come from Abraham. You know, just like Ishmael do. But see, these are both our enemies, man. You know?
That's right. Verse 28. Then there passed by Midianites merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver.
Right. So can I stop? When you go to Genesis 45:4, and Joseph said unto his brethren, come near me, I pray you. And they came near, and he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom y'all sold into Egypt. So what does this mean? It was their game plan. Okay, he was the reason why they were in the. I'm slacking. Our forefathers was the reason why basically Joseph, all right, was in the pit. All right, but at the same time frame, the Midianites drew him out the pit. Okay, and they sold him to the Ishmaelites. So our forefathers never had a hand in it, but it was their game plan. Okay, go ahead, bro.
And saying they brought Joseph into Egypt, and Reuben returned into the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit.
So by the time Reuben came to the pit, okay, he was already gone. Why? Because the Midianites drawed him out the pit and sold him to the Ishmaelites before Reuben got back there. Okay.
It says, and he rent his clothes.
And why? Because he was mourning. Look, we left him in the pit. He's gone. But the point of this lesson is to prove that what? That basically these other nations has always been accessories after the fact. Or had their hands in our downfall. For prophecy's sake.
All
right. Yes,
It is Joel from Korean. I can start at 3. And it says, and they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. It said, yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and our coast of the Palestine?
And those Hamitic people, you know, that was Tyre and Zidon, which is, what modern day Lebanon is today. But that was inhabited, by those ancient, Hamites, going back to Haram, during the time of Solomon, and then Palestine today, that's what's thing about Ishmael.
Right.
Ishmael played a big part, in our downfall as well, man. And I got quickly to link over there. This Galatians 4 and 28. It says, now we brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise. But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him that was born after the spirit, even so is it now. Who was that? Ishmael.
Yeah, and born after the spirit means born after the promise. But yeah, if brothers want to fact check Midian, you can read Genesis 25, where it speaks about, the sons of Abraham, and Midian is mentioned. You know what I'm saying? You got it, brother. Oh, it's not,
Yeah, that was more of it. That was the point. That was the point.
Yeah, go ahead.
And in Psalms 83 and start 1, keep not that silence, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. Verse 3.
Meaning what? They're in power now. Go ahead.
Verse 3. They have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against our heathen ones.
Yeah, through policies and things of that nature. And their policies are designed to keep us at the bottom. Go ahead.
Verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the names of the Israel may be no more in remembrance.
So in a nutshell, they want to eradicate us from the earth. Okay, mainly Esau. Why? Because he wants that blessing, that birthright.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, ask some priests.
Go ahead, bro.
It's to
Go ahead.
link up what the brother got, and also it's gonna land back what Priest Chicago was saying earlier. It's real quick. Revelation 11 and 9, and they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves, that the name of Israel may be no more remembered. They kept us from knowing the truth.
That's right, because once you're put in a grave, you're at peace. Okay, that's what that means. If you put, when you die, you place in a grave, that means you are at peace. All right, so they don't want us to get in our graves, meaning what? They don't want us to understand who we are within the spirit.
So yeah, I got one. This Proverbs 1 and 12. It says, "Let us swallow them up alive as the grave, and whole as those that go down into the pit." So swallowing us up alive.
That's it. The walking dead.
Yeah.
Strip us from our rationality.
Man, I don't know who we are. We just walking around empty, man.
That's right. That's right. All right, Psalms 1.
Verse 8, Psalm 83 and 5. For they have made a consulting together with one consent, that they all confederate against her. Verse 6. The tabernacle of Edom, the Ishmaelites, Moab, and the Hagarims.
Hey, this is beautiful, because going back to what Ayash had said, the Abraham Accords, you can't make this up, bro.
Yeah. Is it Hagarims, Gabal, Ammon, the Amalekites, the Philistine, with the inhabitants of Tyre.
So all these, table nations, what, 18?
Yeah.
So all these nations are against the nation of Israel, beginning with the nation of Edom. Okay, and Psalms, the 83rd chapter, gives you the game plan or the blueprint who is actually sent here to destroy us. Point blank period. Go ahead, bro.
Ashur, what's the name? Ashur.
Sure.
Ashur also is joined with them. They have hoping that the children of Lot, Salah.
That was it. That's more.
I had one last one.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore, you want to read it?
Break it down to
Jeremiah 30 and 16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity.
And that's the judgment of Yahweh Shem Al-Shah, beginning with Edom. And these other nations have to feel that wrath.
That's right.
All right? Go ahead, bro.
And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil.
Right, so y'all will be a spoil. Point blank period. Go ahead.
And all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey.
Right. Hey, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth.
Right.
All right. Now, since you said that, hey, somebody get Revelation 20 and 5.
I got one too.
All right. Go ahead, bring yours up, bro.
It's Obadiah 1:15. For the day of the Most High is near upon all heathens. As thou hast done, it shall be done to them. It shall be done to thee.
The day of the Most High is the second coming of Yahweh Shah.
That's right.
All right. The year of our redemption, which is a time frame. Go ahead.
Thy reward shall return upon thy own head.
What that means, Tyler?
Whatever you done to those people, it's going to come back to you.
That's how you're going to be rewarded.
Oh,
Yes, your recompense.
payback.
Which is payback. All right. Somebody get Revelation 20 and 5.
Revelation 20 and 5.
Okay, hey, hold on. Since hey, Tyler, want to get Isaiah 14 and 9. Right, you can start, bro.
It says, Revelation 25, it says, but the rest of the dead.
All right, but the rest of the dead, all right, now jump to Isaiah 14 and 9.
And it's Isaiah 14 and 9.
Right.
Hell from beneath is moved from thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stir up the dead.
Hell, this bad condition, this bad time, stir up the dead. Who's the dead at times? One, go ahead.
All right. For there even are the chief ones of the earth.
You other nations, man. You other nations are considered the dead. Go ahead, bro.
It shall rise upon, it shall rise up.
It have raised up.
It had raised up from the thrones all the kings of the nation.
All right, so these kings of the nations are basically what? These heathen nations in what would you say, in concert with Esau, they're considered as the dead. Now jump back to Revelation 20 and 5, bro.
It says, but the rest of the dead live not again,
right,
until the 1,000 years were finished. This is the first resurrection.
That's right.
Blessed and holy is he that had part in the first resurrection.
And who is that? The first fruits. 144,000. Okay, and the 1/3, beginning with Yahushua and the 12 apostles. Okay, go ahead.
Talk about
Go ahead.
Also, the first resurrection goes to the rest of the nation of Israel as a whole. You know, I mean, it begins with the elect, but you know, it's not going to take us 1,000 years to bring the nation back.
That's right.
You know, because basically, first resurrection, it just goes to that first dominion, the old dominion. Ultimately, it's going to include the whole nation, but it just begins, like Brother said, with the elect. You know, the first fruits.
Yeah. All right, it says, on such the second death has no power,
right?
But they shall be priests of the Most High and of Mashiach.
All right, so basically during this, so when we jump back to Revelation 25, but the rest of the dead live not again until the 1,000 years were finished, meaning what? They're going to be in slavery, hardcore slavery. Okay, this is the judgment. So that first 1,000 years also identify what this is, the first resurrection. This is the first resurrection. Hey, these heathen nations are going to be in hardcore slavery. All right. And then after those 1,000 years, the Edomite nation will be burned up, according to what? The book of Obadiah. All right. Y'all got something?
Yeah, I got something.
One more.
All right. Go ahead.
This limitation.
Yeah, just real,
go ahead.
Just real quick, bro. Revelation 11 and 18. Yeah. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged.
And the time of the dead shall be judged. Who? These other nations for being accessories after the fact. Go ahead.
And that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets.
Which is what? Salvation leading into eternal life. Go ahead.
And to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great.
Right.
And shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
Right. But the point is that basically these heathen nations will be judged as well. All right. For partaking in evil. All right.
That is Lamentation 2:15. All that passed by clapping their hands at thee. They hissed and waved their heads.
So they're glad to see us in this what? This dead state. Okay, being niggas and thugs and gang members. Okay, and even basically anything outside of the law, statutes, commandments. Teachers for Esau, principals for Esau, senators for Esau. Okay, they like that shit. All right, go ahead, bro.
Wag their head at the daughter of Jerusalem, saying,
"Daughter of Jerusalem." Daughter means what? You said daughter or daughters?
Daughter.
Daughter means what? The entire nation. Go ahead.
Saying, is this a city that man called the perfection of beauty? The joy of the whole earth?
And that proves that we are the fallen ones. Okay, we fell from their state of being princes of the Most High, sons of the Most High, until what you see now.
Verse 16, all thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss, gash. What's that gash? Nash. And next to the teeth, they say, we have swallowed her up. Certain this is a day that we look for.
And that's the reason why these motherfuckers don't be judged.
They gotta go, man.
They gotta go. They have to go. What they saying up?
They go. All thy enemies have opened their mouth against thee. They hiss, gnash, Nash the teeth, and they say, we have spotted her up.
Right.
Sir, this is the day we look for.
This is the day we have looked for.
Yeah.
No mercy for these cats. Go ahead.
We have found and we have seen it.
Right. So they have seen this in real time, but all praise to Yahweh Bashem Mashah. We're in the end of his rulership. Okay? Go ahead.
All right, this Revelation 18 and 14. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all.
Yeah, all that traffic, it's spirit, man. Because I would listen to Bible audio, Ezekiel chapter 26 to 28, before I came down to see the brothers, and basically, you the Prince of Tyrus, you Babylon the Great, all this shit about to be gone, man. But mainly because of the controversy of Zion. What you did to us, man. You got it, bro.
Verse 15, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her should stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing.
Yeah, because it's going to be televised, man. It's going to be live streaming, Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, also, just going in, these other nations going to be weeping and wailing because they can't have no more advantage of the nation of Israel because we like the biggest consumers here. So they really can't take, have control of their businesses anymore because this Bishop Babylon the Great is going to be falling.
That's why they'll be upset.
And that's pretty much the point.
Hey, people talk about the power of the so-called black dollar. Because Jay buying all this stuff, man. Like y'all supposed to always get into, like Jay buying the foreign cars and the latest designer clothes and everything got to be name brand. It's all Jake, man.
All right, this Baruch 4 and 6.
Which goes back to what? Salaki. Go back to you licking our swords, man.
That's right.
Taking advantage of us in this lower state, because the swords represent slavery, man. You still taking advantage of us in this estate, post chattel slavery, man.
Profiting off the curses.
Yep.
That low self-esteem Jake got. That's why Jake brag about spending money.
Yeah.
That he trying to put a band-aid on that shit.
Yeah.
Like you see Mayweather, everything do got something to do with money.
That's right.
And that's that low self-esteem,
Yeah.
Because that's the only thing. It's like that instant gratification that Jake get, because Jake's so deprived of everything. So they low self-esteem, they profiting off of it.
And y'all remember that video they had out? How to serve a Negro? They make them, they'll put this, and so they go buy all the best clothing. It's some video we watched a long time ago. Basically, how you, I don't know what, how you know a Negro, whatever. They're basically
How to make a Negro?
it's some they go buy the nicest clothes, the nicest car, everything.
Wow.
It's a video we watched a long time ago. So they know we try to buy the best thing,
And it's crazy because basically, through the will of the Most High, we built this city. I was doing some reading. I think when you add up from 1619 all the way up to 1865, we put in over 222 million hours of free labor. And off of those hours, America profit $100 trillion. Damn. So that's why they became such a great economic power, man, off of free labor.
Yeah.
And now fast forward, Jake is just buying up everything.
Yeah, we were the main thing that was trafficked. Going back to slave trade.
That's right, bro. That's right.
Because also, brother, he's in Revelation. He speaks about bodies and souls of men. You got it.
The so-called Negro is the first stock.
Yep.
This is Baruch 4 and 6. You were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High in wrath. You were delivered unto the enemies. I'll jump down to verse 15. For he had brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the Lord.
Deuteronomy 28 chapter.
That's right, bro.
That's
a direct link. So you can't say the Apocrypha not part of the Bible, man.
When the Romans came in, speaking in what's that?
Speaking Latin.
Speaking Latin.
Right.
Okay, we didn't understand that because we were speaking Hebrew.
Yeah. But it's so cold because just like you look up on Wikipedia, you can look up Edom, and it's gonna tell you that pretty much they were the people of the Roman Empire. So you can apply this to what the ancient Romans did. But you fast forward, it speaks about an empire getting destroyed by fire, which we know, because bro, just in Revelation, that links to what the Lord gonna do to the new Rome.
That's right.
Babylon the Great, man. So this is talking about you.
Right.
You know, that's why vocab, hey, he spazzing out, man. I want to talk about the Black Madonna and Hebrew Israelites. They got nothing now, man. You know?
Sorry, bro. You know what I'm saying? And basically, the secret of the selling to a Negro. Basically, what they like, you know, but they'll show all the nice stuff, you know, Jay, we're gonna go back. So basically, it's a secret to selling to a Negro. So,
yeah, but hey, that's scriptural because it's that crafty counsel, you know, to these other nations. It's back in Baruch 4:15. It says for Salaki 16. These are carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone desolate without daughters. But what
the dear beloved children are who? Are who, man? The Israelites. It's us, man. We're the dear beloved children of the widow. Who's the widow? Jerusalem. Right. And it's a widow right now because the children are not in their land, man. You know? It's just like brother Yash been getting into, man. You know, us being the children of the promise, we're going back to that land. All right? That's what this really is all about. And now it's just super evident it's us, man.
That's right.
It ain't nobody else.
That's right.
You know? That's why everybody mad, man. You wanted to be you. And that ceremony yesterday, that shit had no salt in it, man. That shit was horrible, man. The music they were playing, you know, y'all sitting down and they had signed 3 documents. The Treaty of Peace, the Declaration, and then the last one, like normalization or something like that. But they signed it in English, Yiddish, and Arabic. But wait a minute. We thought when the real people of the Lord go back to that land, ain't the whole earth gonna be a one language again? Right. We all speak Hebrew. Right. So what the fuck is up with that? That don't match prophecy, man. You know?
Trying to blend Judaism, Buddhism, and Islam, and Zionists, man.
Yeah.
They say they want to blend all over religions and coexist, man.
To be one.
Yeah. That had nothing to do. That's a new world order, man.
That's all.
You know, it had nothing to do with biblical prophecy concerning the true Israelites returning to their land, man.
That's right, bro.
Okay. Like Baruch 4:16, these are carried away that dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone desolate without daughters. But what can I help you? For he that brought these plagues upon you will deliver you from the hands of your enemies.
Yep.
Yes, Yahweh Shai. Okay.
Yeah, and we like brother said, Yahweh Shai gonna do it with them chariots, man. And that's why you're seeing so many sightings. You got a lot of people talking about that chariot that was in New Jersey. Yeah, a lot of people saying it's a blimp. Let's say if it is a blimp. Like Spirit been having us say, but beginning with the elder apostles, great millstone. Like we've been speaking about all these different things that have been happening. What is real is the reaction. Let's say if it is a blimp. Well, you still got the reaction of the people. Same spirit they gonna have when they see the Lord coming in chariots, man. Like wailing, mourning, you know, going crazy because they said all the traffic on the street stopped. On the highway, it all stopped. You know? And if there was a blimp, you ain't gonna do that for a damn blimp, man. You know what I'm saying? So you scoffers keep scoffing, but we gonna see what's right, man.
And you know, like under the searchlight portion of it, it was that emerald green. Remember when we saw those chariots over there, like in North Jackson? Remember that night in Chicago they called us? It was that emerald green, going back to that Nike commercial. So,
yep.
And it was underneath that chariot was that emerald green, you know? So regardless if it was or if it wasn't, we still know that Lord we will be delivered.
That's right, bro.
You know what I'm saying? By chariots. Point blank period.
Yes,
and if, hey, one more thing, bro. Hey, and if it was total bullshit, why is Donald Trump trying to develop the Star Wars project?
Yeah.
Put money into it.
That's it.
Yeah, I was saying if there is a so-called blimp, what about the other thousands of accounts? So-called chariots.
Right, bro.
Yeah, exactly. You can't say everything a blimp or a drone. You know what I'm saying? Something got to be accounted for, man.
That's right, bro.
Yeah. You got air marshals back in like early 1900s. They got quotes and say, we know that this extraterrestrial things that exist, man. You know, they got quotes, man.
I seen 2004. They seen it.
man.
Yeah.
Sure did, bro.
And Christopher Columbus,
Yeah.
St. Elmo's Fire. Come on, man.
So you got older accounts,
Right.
and ancient accounts.
Right.
What about that?
Right. It all makes sense with the spirit, bro.
True.
All right, y'all take us home, bro.
This is on Daniel 7:13. I saw in the night visions and beheld one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven and came to the Ancient of Days.
Right. Now this is going into the ascension when Yahushua went back to his heavenly Father. We know pursuant to the end of the Gospels and the beginning of Luke, you know, he ascended up into a cloud, you know, and see that's when he went back to the heavens and he received his glory in the heavens. You know, you read. Yep.
Yep. Acts.
Come
Yeah.
Yep.
And it said, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him.
That they are the angels. So once again, this happened 2,000 years ago when the Lord went back to his heavenly Father, and he's receiving his glory, man. All right, go ahead, bro.
And there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom that all people, nations, and languages should serve him.
So it's already set in the heavens. Now we, you know, like brothers always go into. Now we're just waiting to play out on planet Earth, man, in real time. Because Apostle Paul said in Hebrews, but now we see not yet all things put under him, but we're about to see it. That's right. You know. Yeah, bro.
And it says, his dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed.
Yeah. Hey, Daniel, what's that? 2:44. You know, the kingdom not being left to other people. You know, Deuteronomy 33. Israel dwelling in safety alone. But the point is, all people, nations, and languages shall serve him. Going back to these heathens that are accessories.
That's right.
You know, after the fact, man, y'all gotta pay.
That's right.
You know.
Any more precepts?
Well, with that, Lord willing, you brothers were edified. You know, you brothers and a few sisters that support and subscribe to the videos. You know, hey, we in that time, man. All our enemies gonna pay for what they did to us, man. They thought they got away with it, but they ain't get away with shit. All right. So with that, we want to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashum, Yahushua, Ba'ashum, Kakadash. The honor to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Peace and blessing to the elect. All right. Abba Ball, Abba Ball, Kwam Yashara, Shalom.
Shalom.